the philosophy of antinatalism is not as simplistic as many people would like to think it is. Because many people just think antinatalists feel like suffering is bad. Therefore, we should not have children because there is suffering in this world. No. It's much, much more complicated than that. There are deeper problems that antinatalism is trying to solve. It's not just the problem of suffering. It's not just the problem of suffering. We do understand that there is suffering in this world. We do understand that suffering isn't always bad. You can suffer for something that is good, so suffering isn't always bad. The real problem is, are we in a world that is good or not? That's it. It's really about figuring out whether this world is good or not. That's it. Is this world good? Like, when you look at what's going on in this world, do you think that this world is good? Do you think that the things that are happening are good? Do you think that it was in our best interest to incarnate into this world? That's what it's really about. It's about figuring that out. It's about figuring out whether we're having a good experience or not. Are we in hell or not? Are we in a prison planet or not? Are we being lied to or not? Are we being manipulated or not? Is the truth being kept away from us or not? You see, that's what it's about. That's really what it's about. Because people think it's very simplistic philosophy. People are afraid of suffering. People are afraid of suffering. People are not strong. No. Is this world really good? Is this world what it seems? Are the people that are against antinatalism conscious enough to see what is really going on in this world? Are they conscious enough to put themselves in other people's shoes? Are they able to understand things from other people's perspectives, or they're only seeing things from their own perspective? Their lives have been good, so they think that this world is good. My life has been good because I've been doing the right things. Their lives are bad because they were doing the wrong things. Maybe they don't have enough faith. Maybe we create our own reality and they are not manifesting the things that they want because they're still living in fear. They're not doing the right things. They don't know how to manifest things that they want. It's because here's what I've realized. When you succeed at doing something, you tend to think that other people are not succeeding because they're not doing the right things. I've noticed that. It happens all the time. Think of the times when you've tried to do something and you actually succeeded at doing it. You kind of felt like the people who did not succeed weren't doing things right. Like, yeah, I'm just intelligent. I was doing things right, That's how it feels like. Remember, we're very egotistical. We're humans. We're very, very egotistical. We like to think that we're winning because we're doing the right things. Our lives are good because we're doing the right things. We don't understand that it was possible for us to actually lose. If the right things didn't happen, we would have lost and we would have found ourselves suffering. We would have found ourselves in the same position where the people who are actually complaining in this world are. If we want to understand whether this world is good or not, we mustn't be just looking at life from our own perspective. We must be looking at life from the perspective of people who have to fight for their survival. People in Ukraine. People dying of hunger. orphans, people who have been abused, kids that are being kidnapped and being raped. Because child trafficking is a serious problem. I saw a trailer of this other documentary. I think it's about child trafficking. I think it's called The Sound of Freedom, something like that. You must be able to see life from the perspective of those kids that are being kidnapped and being raped. You must be able to see life from their perspective. You mustn't just be looking at life from your perspective. I remember I was watching this other interview. Jordan Peterson was being interviewed by this other lady. She asked him what he thinks about the legalization of euthanasia in Canada, I think. About the MAID program. I think, yeah, she was asking him about the MAID program. And he said, some time back, he got very sick. Very, very sick. Like very, very sick. You know, there have been many times where he felt like giving up. If they offered him an easy way out, he would have taken it. If they offered him an easy way out, he would have taken it. That's what he was saying. It's like, if they offered me an easy way out, I would have taken it because I was suffering a lot. But look at me now, I've survived. So that means that assisted suicide is not good, because some people who will be able to survive will take the easy way out and actually die. And I was like, come on, man. Are these the people that you respect in our society? People who are so selfish that they're only seeing things from that perspective. Things worked out for me, so they're gonna work out for everyone. There ain't people that actually were kept here and who suffered like crazy and actually died. No. Each and every person that got really sick and felt like, yo, please let me die. Each and every person that felt like that ended up surviving. You see, if you are unable to see things from other people's perspectives, you won't really understand whether this world is good or not, because you're only seeing it from your perspective. You must be able to see life from other people's perspectives. Don't ever think that it's only your perspective that actually matters. Your perspective is very limited. You don't know what it's like to be another person. You don't know what it's like to be a kid that has to fight, you know, a kid that has to carry a gun and fight. You don't know how life is like from the perspective of that kid. You don't know what it's like to be a lion. You don't know what it's like to be a rabbit. You don't know how it's like to be really poor and have nothing. You don't know what that is like. You don't know how it's like to not have parents if you have parents. You don't know what it's like to not be able to do anything. Just not being good at anything. Whatever you try to do, you're not good at it. You don't know what that is like. You don't know what it's like to be hated by everyone. You don't know what it's like to be abused. You know what I mean? You don't know what it's like to be alone. What's going on? You don't know what it's like to be alone if you've got friends. If you have someone in your life that you're dating, you don't know what it's like to be single, maybe. If you've never had to struggle when it comes to relationships. So there are a lot of things that people go through that you do not understand. So really, if you really want to understand whether this world is good or not, you must be open-minded enough to understand things from the perspectives of people that have not experienced life the way that you have experienced it. That's when you'll be able to understand if this world is good. Because here's the thing. If you lived during the time of slavery and you benefited from slavery, you probably would think that slavery is good. You probably think that slavery is good. Right? If you lived during the time of slavery, you would have thought that slavery was good. 100%. Most of y'all don't even understand veganism. Most of y'all are making fun of vegans. If you think that vegans are crazy, I'm 100% sure that you would have felt like slavery was good if you were benefiting from it. 100% sure. You would have felt like slavery was good. Because you would only be seeing things from your perspective. You're benefiting, right? You're benefiting from other people working for you. You're benefiting from owning other people. So you would have felt like slavery was good. You would have felt like it is not good if you found yourself suffering because of slavery. If you found yourself having to work like slaves, you would have felt like slavery was bad. You see? So in order to figure out if whether slavery was good or bad, we should be able to see things from the perspectives of those that benefited from slavery and the perspectives of those who had to suffer because of slavery. That's how you figure out if slavery was good or bad. That's how you figure out if slavery was good or bad. This reminds me of this other movie. What is it called? Django Unchained. The character that Samuel L. Jackson played was very, very arrogant. He was black, but he wanted to see other black people suffering. He hated black people. He wanted to see other black people suffering. He thought slavery was good, even though he was black, you know. He thought slavery was good, and white people actually realized that, oh, this guy is on our side. This guy is on our side. This is like the biggest Uncle Tom that we've ever seen in our lives. Like this guy is good. We can trust this guy. That's how some people are in this world. People like Jordan Peterson. They act like this world is good. They act like this world is good. So it gets to a point where they find themselves saying things that make zero sense, trying to defend this world, even when it's really obvious that this world is not good. Because it's obvious. When you look around you, you'd see that, nah. So the real problem isn't that people are suffering. The real problem is, what are they suffering for? Are they suffering because they are slaves? Or are they suffering because they are growing, they are evolving? That's what we needed to figure out. And the philosophy of antinatalism is actually showing you that no, you're not suffering because you are evolving. You're not suffering because you are supposed to become better so that life will be better in the future. No. You are suffering because you are slaves in this world. That's why you're suffering. You're not suffering for the future. Because some people believe that we mustn't stop having children. We have suffered a lot in the past, and yes, we're still suffering, but if we give up now, it means that we will not be able to accomplish what we're trying to accomplish. Like, no. We're not suffering because we're trying to make things better for the future. It has nothing to do with that. We're suffering because we're slaves. There will always be slaves. They've always been slaves. That's what you must understand. There's no reason for this world to be the way that it is today. There was no reason. It's not like it was not possible to have a world that's actually better. That's what you must realize. It's not like it was impossible for us to have a world that is actually better. We have a world that is like this because we are slaves. You know? The world is the way that it is because we are slaves. Now, there's wars in this world because human beings are supposed to suffer. There's poverty in this world. Do you understand how fucked up it is that some people are supposed to be born in poverty and have to suffer like crazy? When they get sick, they don't get the kind of treatment that they need. They just have to suffer. When they need surgeries, they can't get surgery. You know, I remember I watched a documentary about this young girl that needed surgery. Like, you know, she was born disabled, and she needed surgery in order to, you know, be able to walk. No one was helping her until she got older. Do you think that this world is good if we can't even help people that actually need help? That lady, that girl didn't choose to be like that. She just was born like that. But nah, no one was willing to help her until that documentary was made. If you are born in poverty and you need maybe glasses for your eyes, and your parents can't afford them, it means you would have to suffer. It means you would have to suffer. And there's then no one is gonna help you because people don't give a fuck. This is the kind of world that you live in. You see, there are a lot of things that people have to go through. Things that no human should have to go through in a world that is actually good. You see? If this world was good, we wouldn't be going through the things that we're going through. We're only going through these things because this world is not good. And that is the truth. We like to tell ourselves that suffering is part of life. Suffering is part of life. Animals suffer, so humans must suffer as well. No, we are suffering because we are slaves. That is why we are suffering. We're suffering because this world is not good. We're suffering because this realm is not good. We're suffering because we are in a prison planet. So antinatalism is about opening your eyes to see what the truth is about this world. Because that's what we needed to figure out. Is this world good or not? That's what we needed to figure out. You came into this world not knowing how it's going to be like, not knowing anything, and you still don't know anything really. You needed to figure out whether this world is good or not. Most people have never asked themselves if this world is good. They've never asked themselves if this world is not good. They just do what other people are doing in this world. They don't ask themselves challenging questions. They just do what everyone is doing. People have jobs. Let me have a job as well. People are willing to work shitty jobs, so it's fine. I'm going to work a shitty job as well. People are having children, even if they know that they do not have enough money to be able to take care of these kids. Oh, let me do that as well, because everyone is doing it. And no one is saying that that is bad. No one is talking about how wrong that is. So it means it isn't wrong. You see, most people who think that this world is good are people who don't even think. I remember I was watching this other video, where Amanda was debating with some dude. I think this dude is like a professor. She was debating with this other dude. He was really against antinatalism, so she was trying to make him see why antinatalism actually makes sense. So this dude was saying, most people are against antinatalism, so that means that antinatalism is bad. He gave this example. It was like, do you think if people were to choose between an old woman dying and a young a child that is maybe a little girl that's like 3 years old dying, who do you think they will choose? Who do you think they will choose to die? If they were to choose between an 80-year-old woman and a 3-year-old little girl. I think the answer to that question is simple. Like, they would rather choose the old woman to die, right? So it was basically saying that shows you that human beings in general value life. You see, why would they choose the old woman to die instead of choosing the little girl to die? Because if they chose the little girl to die, that little girl will not get to experience life. So it means that human beings are not against life. So that will mean that antinatalism is wrong, because many people do not even agree with it. Like, no, many humans don't even think. I live in South Africa. More than 85% of people here are Christians. Does that mean that Christianity is true? No. People do not think. So what we do is question how they think. You see, we question how they think. We don't decide whether something is true or not because of the numbers of people who support it. The way that we vote for our leaders, that's not how it works. People are dumb as fuck. You have to understand that people are very easy to manipulate. People are incapable of seeing the truth. People are not even taught how to think right. So how can you trust them if they do not even think right? There are very few people in this world that can actually think. You see, being able to think for yourself is not even being encouraged. That is how you figure out that this realm is not good. Being able to think for yourself is not encouraged in our society, because the people who are controlling everything want people to be stupid. You see, so that they will make the wrong choices, so that they will do things that are stupid. You see? So that is why people are reproducing as if they know what they are doing, even though they don't know what they are doing. That is why when you try to have deep philosophical conversations with people, they seem too stupid. They don't know what you're talking about. They don't seem to have their own thoughts. You see? So that's how you realize that no, this realm is not good. This realm is not good. This is hell. That's how you realize that. You look at whether people are being encouraged to think for themselves, or if they are being indoctrinated, or if they are being manipulated. Look at what happens to people who actually think for themselves in this world. They get cancelled quickly. And people act like that is good. No, it isn't. The world is the way that it is today because the majority of people have been wrong. Do you understand that? If they listen to the people that were actually right, even though they were not the majority, things wouldn't be the way that they are today. So you can't trust people who don't think to decide what makes sense or what doesn't make sense, because they do not think. They're not capable of critical thinking. Not that many humans can think critically. Let's not lie to ourselves and tell ourselves that each and every person that is here is actually smart. No. We have to understand that some people are idiots for real. There are very few people that can think. I haven't met that many people that can think for themselves. You know, there ain't that many people. Look, if I can tell you how many people that I've actually met that are actually smart, you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised, because there ain't that many people that I've met that I was like, dude, this person is smart. People do not think, man. I think we are underestimating the stupidity of people. So like, oh, people are qualified to decide whether this realm is good or not. They're not, because they can't even think. They don't qualify because they've always been making the wrong choices. Look at the president of the United States. Look at the president of the United States. Isn't that enough proof that people are fucking stupid? Because your president is too old to even be running a country. He's too old. You can't even have a logical conversation with him. He's too old. Sometimes he doesn't even remember his name. Probably can't even count to 10. But he's the president of the United States, the most powerful country in the world. People voted for that guy. I wouldn't have voted if I was an American. I would have been like, well, if I have to choose between a Ted and a douche, then I'm not voting. And this reminds me of this other episode of South Park where I think it was Stan. He didn't want to vote. I think they needed to select someone, maybe like some leader in that school. So it was between a tent sandwich and a douche, I think, yeah. So Stan was like, I mean, it's not worth it. Like, it's really not worth it. It's a very funny episode. And people were like, no, you gotta vote. You got to vote. You know what I mean? People forcing you to vote, even if you can see that, I mean, there's no hope. It's not like there's, a person that's actually worth voting for. Like, I'm not gonna vote. That would be better. What we must realize is that people are not intelligent enough to be able to think for themselves, to be able to make the right choices. That is why there's so much suffering in this world. You see, we're suffering because there are people that are at the top that actually want us to suffer. That is 100% true. But we are also suffering because we're making stupid decisions. We're not doing things the right way. We are not realizing what needs to be done in order to make society better. So we're suffering. That's what must be realized. We must take accountability. We mustn't just blame the people that are at the top, you see. Because these people are at the top because we're stupid. We keep on voting for these people. We keep on allowing them to control us. And they're able to do that. I do understand that if they weren't able to control us, they would actually be killing us for real. I remember Daylight said this on a Leakers when he was freestyling. It was like, they could have wiped us all out with a satellite, but instead they kept us in this firmament to be cattle-like. Hey, the truth is, if we started to rebel, they will kill us. I'm not going to lie to you. If we really started to rebel, because this world is not good. All right? You're being lied to. If you believe this world is good, you're being lied to. This world is not good. So they'll be like, okay, they're too smart. Let's kill them and start all over. They're too smart. We got to start all over because now we can't control these people anymore. What you must realize is that you're not free. You only believe that you are free because they've realized that, well, they're too stupid. It's like if you own cattle, right? You know they're not free, but they think that they're free. Why? Because you allow them to believe that they're free. What they do where I live is that they will live like maybe they'll have like a farm where there's lots of grass and they'll leave their cattle there. No, they'll leave their cattle in the morning and then go back in the afternoon. And yeah, by the time when they go back, then the cattle will be feeling like, oh yeah, we ate, we're good. The reason why they allow cattle to be free where I live is because they know that, they won't run away. Right? They won't run away. But animals that we know can run away, we keep them in cages. That's why birds are kept in cages. Yeah, they keep. That's why animals like rabbits are kept in cages, right? They can run away. So they allow us to think that we're free because they know that we won't really do anything. We're not a threat. We're too stupid. We're too stupid to realize what must be done. We're too stupid to think for ourselves. We're too stupid to make the right decisions. We're too stupid to free ourselves. So they're like, no, you can allow these people to believe that they're free, but they're not free. They will do whatever they want to do to us when they want to do these things to us. Anything that they want to do, they'll be able to do these things to us easily. So what you must understand is that we are being controlled for real. The world is not the way it is today because we're loved. The people that are controlling everything care about us and they want us to be happy. They want things to work out for us. They want us to evolve. They want us to be smart. No. Things are the way that they are in this world because the people that control everything want us to remain stupid. They want us to not be able to think for ourselves. They want us to not become conscious enough to be able to make our own decisions. That's what they want. The same way that you want, if you own cattle, you want to be able to control them. See, they own us, they control us, they benefit a lot from controlling us. They will not benefit if they allowed us to become intelligent. They allowed us to become woke. They will not benefit anymore, you see? So that's what you must realize. You don't have power in this world. In this world, people who are evil have power. That is why it's much easier to do things that are evil than it is to actually do things that are good. You see? It's much easier to cause suffering than it actually is to save people from suffering. That's what you must realize. It's much easier. If I wanted to cause harm, I would be able to cause harm right now. But if I wanted to change somebody's life for the good, I wouldn't be able to do that. You do understand that if I wanted to take someone's life, I'll be able to do that easily. But to do something that is equal to that, but that is actually good, it's not easy. See, we're put here to suffer. That is why animals are suffering. If you want to understand what I'm telling you, look at what is happening to animals. You will understand. People are just telling themselves that, oh, animals are just animals. Animals are stupid. Animals are this and that. They are in a trap. They are in a trap. They have to live in fear because they can get killed at any time. The predators have to keep on hunting because they don't want to die of hunger. See, they are supposed to do things that are horrible in order to survive. There's no other way. You understand that? There is no other way for them to survive. What if the people that are making sure that this world remains like this, or the beings that are making sure that this world remains like this, don't have any other choice? If they allowed us to thrive, if they allowed us to be free, maybe they will die. Who knows? Because lions will die if they stopped hunting, right? Maybe there are some beings that are feeding off our energy, right? Who knows? You gotta open your eyes and realize that we are in a trap. The best thing that animals can do is to just make sure that they don't reproduce. That's it. You just decided, no, we're not reproducing because this world is hell. That's what you should do. You shouldn't be reproducing, so that people will maybe come and be successful, whatever. Because that's the mentality that people have. Like, okay, let me bring children into this world and, they're going to be successful. They're going to become lawyers. They're going to become teachers. They're going to become politicians. They're going to discover the cure for cancer. You think they have not discovered the cure for cancer? You think they've not discovered the cure for HIV? Or they want things to be the way that they are? You see, the problem is that you're not woke. The problem is that you don't realize where you are. You think that this place is heaven, and things that are happening because we have not figured out how to solve some of the problems that we have. No, the things that are happening because there are people who are making sure that these things actually happen. You see? But you're not conscious enough to see that. So when people come to you and say, yo, having children is actually wrong, you think that there's something wrong with these people. And these are the people that are actually right. These are the people that are actually woke. These are the people that are actually able to see what is happening. You see? Their eyes are open. These people are not like you. They're not ignorant. These people can think for themselves. They understand how important it is for people to be able to think for themselves. You shouldn't just believe whatever you are being told, because the people that are telling you things are people that are controlling you. You have to understand that everything that you think you know comes from the people that are at the top. Everything that you think you know about this planet comes from people that are at the top. They decide what people get to believe. You see, everything that people get to know about the moon comes from the people that are at the top. They literally decide what people get to believe. There's been too many UFO sightings in this world. We still don't know shit about these UFO sightings. Why? Because they don't want us to know shit about this shit. You see? So they just decided, okay, let's tell them that there's planets, There's the moon and there's the sun and there's, planets. We live in a solar system. We've never been to another planet. The sun is far away from us. all this happened randomly. This world exists not because someone planned for it to exist. No, everything just happened randomly and we found ourselves here. And people believe that. Oh, the theory of evolution is true. I remember I was debating with someone about this, about the theory of evolution. Like, dude, you don't understand that you're not so different from people who believe that the Bible is true. You're not so different from them. You just think that you're smarter because you believe in the theory of evolution, and people are being made to believe that they're smart because when they believe in the theory of evolution. No, you're not. You're just like them. You've been indoctrinated. You're believing lies. You see, you are believing lies. So really, you must ask yourself, what is really going on? You gotta forget everything that you think you know, because you don't know shit. You don't know shit. Everything that you think you know, you've been taught by people. And these people that taught you the things that you think you know don't even care about you. They don't even want you to know the truth. So you have to discover what the truth is yourself. You mustn't be trusting other people to tell you what the truth is. Ask yourself, what is really going on in this world? Why do I gotta bring children into a world that I do not even understand? I can see that there are a lot of people that are suffering. I can see that people are dying every day. I mean, when you think about it, we suffer a lot for a life that can be taken away at any moment. Isn't that fucked up though? People are dying, bruh. Every day. So they suffer just to die. Why? They don't even know what happens after they die. They don't know. There are many religions that people were made to believe. Many religions that people were made to believe in, and they're fighting because of that. They're fighting because of things that they've not even discovered themselves. How stupid? Do you understand how stupid people are? You are a Christian, you're fighting with Muslims because of the information that were given by other people. They were given information by other people. You were given information by other people. Why do you now use the information that you have to fight other people, to judge other people? Remember, you didn't discover the truth yourself. It's like if someone came to me and said, the earth is flat, and someone else went to another person and said the earth is round, and then me and that person start fighting because we were told different things. Like, no, the earth is flat. No, the earth is flat. And the other person says, oh, the earth is round. Do you understand how stupid people are? Because we have to be honest with ourselves. People are fucking stupid. People are too retarded to even trust themselves. Something is wrong with people. So we must at least try to figure out what is going on than to trust other people, because obviously we've been lied to. That is something that's very, very obvious. No, we've been here for many, many years and we still don't know shit. And that should tell us something. That should actually tell us something. But people are pretending to know what is going on. And that's not helping. That is not helping. So if you have not discovered what is going on yourself, you mustn't really be defending what other people are claiming to have discovered. You see, you must try to figure out what's going on yourself. And try to have conversations with people. And try to figure out what's really going on. Try to figure out if what you've discovered to be true is really the truth. You see? That's what you do. You have conversations with people, like, okay, this is what I think about this reality. And then they tell you what they think about this reality. And you see who's right. You see what makes the most sense. That's how you evolve. You don't say, oh, I know what the truth is. This person is just stupid, so I'm just going to fight with them because, you know what I mean? People end up fighting instead of really genuinely trying to figure out what the truth is. People will be defending their religions. Like, come on, man. Oh, you disrespected my religion. You disrespected my God. God cannot be mocked. God cannot be mocked as if you own this God. You don't even realize that God was given. Dude, you have to understand how stupid people are, man, to really understand how fucked up this world is. You have to understand that people are really stupid. Just because you're a human and you think human beings are smart doesn't mean that they're smart. Dogs probably think other dogs are smart. I mean, there are dogs that are actually smart, though. There are dogs that are actually smart. Some of them are actually smarter than humans. That's what's funny. There are dogs that are actually smarter than humans. Isn't that crazy, though? There are dogs in this world that are actually smarter than humans. There are animals that are actually smarter than humans. It's just that humans have a lot of power. It's like what happened during apartheid in South Africa. There were black people that were way smarter than white people. But white people had power, so they made sure that these black people don't get to thrive. They don't get to have freedom. So that's what's happening. There are animals that are really smart, but they don't have freedom. They don't have rights, basically. So they're treated like animals. So they suffer. That's why we are not afraid to keep dolphins in aquariums. Dolphins are smart, but we keep them in aquariums. So they suffer because of us. Do you see how deep this problem is? So these dolphins are not suffering because they're evolving. It has nothing to do with that. They're actually suffering because human beings are fucking selfish and stupid. So you see, that's why I'm telling you that this life in this world is not worth it, because we are also here for the same reason. We are here to be used, to be controlled. And that's what's happening to us. We are being used, we are being controlled, we are being manipulated, we are being given misinformation, we are being censored. A lot of people have realized that we are being censored in 2020, in 2021. People weren't allowed to talk about them. You understand? People weren't allowed to talk about them. Shouldn't that tell you something about this world? The people that are controlling this world were making decisions for the people that are at the bottom, as if they were smarter, as if they qualified to make decisions for everyone. You see? That should tell you something, but you are still a fucking idiot. You still don't realize what is going on. Talking about 66666, as if Jesus is going to come back and save you. No, Jesus is part of the trap. You see, they gave you a false God, so that you have hope. Like, these people are evil. These people who are running this world are evil. But at least Jesus will come back and he's going to save us. No, there's no Jesus that's going to come back. You got to save yourself. That's another lie. You see? If they keep you believing that there's a Jesus that's going to come back to save you, you're not going to do what is right to free yourself. You're not going to free yourself because you believe that, nah, man, this world is not bad, Now someone is going to come back and save us. Like, no. Because you have to understand that even as a Christian, you can say that this world is fucked up. That is why in the Bible it says that this world is evil. There's heaven. They promise you a better world. Because the Bible actually was written by people who were able to realize that this world was fucked up. So they lied to you about, Jesus, so that you'd feel like, someone is going to save us. Nobody's saving you. I know that nobody's coming to save you. I'm able to see when people are being manipulated. I just have that gift. I can't even explain how I have it. You know, people can't lie to me, man. There have been so many people in this world that have lied to me, and I told them exactly what the truth was, and they were like, this nigga got some spiritual gift. How the fuck did you figure out I was lying? Like, dude, I don't know. I just see the truth, man. You can't lie to me. I have that fucking gift. So I can tell you, you've been lied to. They were manipulating you. You know, you should have figured that out by now. But you still have not figured it out. So how should you be trusted? If you can't even figure out basic truth, like that's something that even a 5-year-old child should have figured out. I mean, there are children that know that, you know, these religions ain't real. So you must never overestimate your logic. You're a dumb animal, very illogical, controlled by emotions. If you don't overestimate your logic, you're going to strengthen it. That's something that's very important to understand. Just because you feel like something is true doesn't necessarily mean that it's true. So you must keep on working on figuring out what the truth is. You can't just believe what people are telling you. You know, people who have bad intentions are telling you, or even people that you believe have good intentions are telling you. You must think. Try to be logical. And keep on trying to strengthen your logic. Your ability to reason, you gotta keep on strengthening that. That's how you get to the truth. That's how you realize that, nah, this world is not good. We don't have to suffer. We're only suffering because this world is not good. You know, we're not suffering because this world is good. Like Agent Smith in The Matrix says that we're not here because we're free, we're here because we're not free. I think that's why a lot of people actually like Agent Smith. I didn't like him in the beginning, but you know, now I actually like him better than I like Neo, you know. I thought Neo was very easy to manipulate. You know, it was very easy to manipulate. Agent Smith was the shit, man. And he fought for the truth. He just wanted to be free, which is something that's important, which is something that you should be fighting for. You should be fighting for your freedom. It is important that you fight for your freedom, because you're not free here. You are in a crazy world. So yeah, if you are unable to see things from other people's perspective, if you are unable to understand Christians, if you are unable to understand Muslims, if you are unable to understand atheists, if you are unable to understand people who believe in New Age spirituality, if you are unable to understand people who believe in nothing, then you don't qualify to be making decisions for people, or to even decide whether this world is actually good or bad, because you don't know anything. You don't know enough to be making those kind of decisions. You see, that's the biggest problem. You don't know enough to be making those kind of decisions. But if you are able to understand things from other people's perspectives, if you have been a Christian before and now you're an atheist, you are at least more conscious than Christians, because you understand things from the perspective of Christians, because you were once a Christian. if you wanted to have kids and now you're an antinatalist, you're more conscious than people who want to have children. Because you know what it's like to want to have children. You have seen things from their perspective. You get it. You're like, oh, I get it why they want to have children. I get it why they would want to bring children into a world like this. I mean, it used to make sense to me. I never even questioned whether it was good or bad. I didn't even think in that way. My ability to reason was not that sharp. No, I wasn't able to think deeply about things. So I thought, I'm gonna have children. I thought I was gonna have many children, not just 1 or 5 children. No, the plan was to have many children. I'm black, egotistical. As black people, we want to have many children. That's how we are. White people are egotistical too, but they want different things. Like white people don't usually get to have many kids, but as black people, we've been married to like 8. Like if we have enough power, we want to marry many women. That's why African kings, used to marry many women. It's because once you get to have power, you know that you'll be able to take care of those women. You're like, I'm gonna have as many children as possible. That actually makes you feel good. So I've been trying to see life from other people's perspectives. I've been trying to understand why some people would want to have kids. I was able to understand why Nick Cannon has many children. If you don't understand why he has many children, then you shouldn't be trusting yourself very much. You must be able to say, oh, this is exactly why he's having children. This is exactly why Elon Musk is having children. You must actually be able to put yourself in their shoes and like, oh, it makes sense. It makes sense, I get it. Even though it's not the best thing to do, I get it. You must be able to get it. So if you're able to see things from other people's perspectives and you're also able to see things from your own perspective because you're able to think for yourself, then you do qualify to decide whether this world is good or bad. What I've realized is that people who have decided that this world is bad are people who are unable to see life from other people's perspectives. And I can see it when they are, debating with other people. Just like I gave you the example of Jordan Peterson, right? He even made his audience actually realize that he's only thinking about himself. He feels like assisted suicide should be illegal because of his own experience. Even though this world is full of people who are different from him, people who are experiencing life differently, people who are suffering from different illnesses. He wasn't able to acknowledge that. You see? He wasn't able to acknowledge that his reasoning was very limited. And that's really a big problem. So really, you can't be trusting people who are unable to put themselves in the shoes of other people. You can't be trusting those people because they can mislead you. Now, there are people in this world who trust people who have a large following or people that are respected in this matrix. Now, you shouldn't even be trusting those people. Like, the truth is likely to come from people who are not taken seriously. Ask yourself, why are some of these people very successful? I mean, when I look at Jordan Peterson, I don't see a dude that's super intelligent. Like, yeah, there are things that he understands, yes, but there are many people who understand those things and that are able to understand other things that he doesn't understand. But he's very popular. Why? And there are people that are just straight up stupid that are very popular. Why? While there are people that are really, really intelligent who are not even known, who are not even given platforms to speak. You see, that must make you question everything. Thank you all, guys.